Hey YouTube, it's Patrick J. Hilario here, and I'm your real estate investor and real estate coach. In today's video, we'll be talking about how you can adapt to Canada's real estate game as interest rates continue to rise. So if you've been paying attention to the Canadian real estate market, you should have noticed that the Bank of Canada has increased interest rates multiple times this year. Back in April, they increased it by 50 basis points. And then in June, they increased it by another 50 basis points. And in July, they increased it by a full 100 basis points or a full percent. And then just recently, in this month of September, they increased it by a little bit less at 75 basis points. Once interest rates started going up, I really had to start looking at adapting my strategy. And this is what we're going to be talking about in this video. However, I was a little nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen next. How long will Canada be continually increasing their interest rate? Luckily, what I did was take a moment to just calm myself down, and then I immediately called my coach, Nelson. And we had a conversation of, okay, how do we change our strategies so that we can continually buy homes even if interest rates are going up? Big change that I made was making sure that I'm actually analyzing deals properly. And another one was making sure that everyone on my team was aware of these interest rates hike and how we're going to be adapting to that. Was kind of nervous at the beginning. However, the more I educated myself and the more I was able to get help from Nelson and everyone else on the team, the more I felt confident that there are still deals out there. In fact, we've actually bought 2 other properties and added another 3 units to our portfolio, even if real estate interest rates have been increasing here in Canada. So once these interest rates started increasing, I immediately started feeling a little bit nervous because we were still buying homes. And luckily enough, I was able to take a moment, calm myself down, and immediately call my coach, Nelson. We basically talked about different strategies, and he let me know instead of doing the same thing we did back when interest rates were very low, the strategy has to change. And we need to basically adapt to this new environment, especially if we're still looking to acquire properties during this time where interest rates are going up what feels like almost every month. Luckily enough, he kind of guided me through that, and we were able to kind of communicate with the rest of the team to make sure that everyone is aware. And we are still buying properties during this time, and we actually acquired another 3 units. The real difference is we got to make sure that we buy right, especially with interest rates going up. Really want to make sure that we don't buy too high, because that's definitely going to hurt us, especially if we're not using our own money for these deals. So in this next segment, we'll be jumping into 3 ways that you can deal with the fear during this crazy times of rising interest rates. But before we jump into that, I'd love for you to hit that like and subscribe button here on YouTube. It does help with the algorithm, and I really appreciate if you guys could do that. So hit that like button real quick. So the first reason that you should be scared of these rising interest rates, that once you buy that property, you have, let's say, that term of the mortgage of 3 to 5 years, you will have to really focus and determine where do you think interest rates will be in that time period, and make sure you have a plan for that. If you don't, then you definitely should be scared, because you don't want to jump into this market without knowing what you are doing, especially if interest rates go up again next month and then possibly go up again in another month. So what you can do to deal with that fear is continually educate yourself. I'm a firm believer that the more education you have around interest rates, the more that you understand and the less fear you'll have. A lot of us fear the unknown, but if you have a better understanding of interest rate, you will actually look at it as an opportunity and less of an event or an environment to be fearful in. Now, second group of people that should probably be a little bit scared during this time of rising interest rates is going to be your flippers out there, or people trying to do a BRRRR right now. And the reason for that is with these rising interest rates, if you're trying to flip the house, you got to remember that your buyers are also experiencing a certain level of fear and a certain level of hesitancy when it comes to buying these properties right now. Something that you should do is make sure that you're running your comparables properly. I wouldn't use comparables from 6 months ago. The latest comparables I would use would most likely be around the 3-month to even the 1-month mark. Even then, it might make sense to even reduce your comparable number by another 10% and even adding another $10,000 discount to what you think your property will sell for. We actually picked up a property for about $205,000, and because of these rising interest rates, instead of doing like a full-on reno where we're trying to aim to make the property very updated and more luxury look, instead we've done a bare minimum reno, just make it nice, clean, tidy, maintenance, and update a few few key elements such as the flooring and the paint to give it a new updated feel without having to spend so much on the renovation. By making sure that you are on top of your renovation costs and possibly even reducing that, now we can make sure that we can still sell the property at a lower price while still making sure that everyone on the team gets paid. And of course, we as investors get paid last, but we want to make sure that we still profit something even if interest rates are going up. The third group of people that should be very fearful during this time of rising interest rates are you new investors out there. If you've never invested in real estate and you want to get into a property sooner than later, then you really need to act now and increase your knowledge. Make sure that you understand these rising interest rates and don't let that stop you from buying properties now, because we don't know if interest rates will continue going up. If they do, you'll be very quickly priced out, and this may be the last chance for you to actually buy a property, even if you're just a first-time home buyer. So the suggestion for you to how to deal with that is, one, start looking at other options to finance your deals. You also need to be able to increase your ability to negotiate so that you can actually get properties at a lower price instead of paying what the seller wants, because a lot of these sellers on the market think we are still in a market that we were in, say, 6 months ago or even a year ago. We are in a completely different market now. With these rising interest rates, a lot of homes are actually sitting on market, which is actually an opportunity for you to buy. The problem is, if you don't know how to identify a deal and you end up overpaying, well, you essentially start off your real estate career already in a place where things are going to be very difficult for you. Money is made on the buy, even if interest rates are rising. You just need to change how you calculate and analyze these deals. Make sure you buy properly underneath market value, and then you'll be coming out on top the moment you buy that property. And then you can even force renovations if you want to use the BRRRR strategy. Back in 2017, I took a seminar on learning how to buy real estate. And in this seminar, I actually learned that I really need to get into that property sooner than later. And this started to give me a little bit of urgency. I actually sat in that seminar room. It was filled with 50 other people. Everyone was older than me. We were actually playing the negotiations training, and I ended up being one of the worst negotiators in that room at the time. I was surrounded by business owners, other investors that have been doing this longer than I've been alive. I was really feeling a little inadequate in the fact that everyone already had properties and I was just here trying to learn, and luckily had won the ticket, but I definitely felt that imposter syndrome being in that room. Long story short, we had set our goals at the end of the seminar, and I had written down that if I don't get a property in the next year, I would actually sell my car and just bust everywhere. And that really gave me the urgency to take action. In that year, I was able to get that first property, and that's really what started the whole real estate career that I'm in now. However, I could easily see that if I did not make that jump, I would still be forced into my job right now. Now, I love teaching, and I still do that with the YouTube channel, with the social media, and even with my own coaching and consulting clients. However, I knew that I did not want to have a job. I wanted the option to do what I love to do, which is, again, teaching, without necessarily having someone tell me what courses I had to teach, tell me when and where I had to teach, and instead have a certain level of freedom that I get to do now, teaching you guys on YouTube. But really, that time, I could see that if I didn't make that jump, I didn't start buying these properties, I would be stuck at a job. Seeing how interest rates are increasing, I'm seeing that it's going to be even harder for many people to get out of those jobs. And essentially, if you don't reach your financial security number, then you are stuck working that job until you literally can't function anymore. And if you don't have a plan to execute on being able to fund your own retirement, or if you're someone like me, I come from immigrant family and I essentially am expected to fund my parents' retirement. If you can't find a way to build that passive income or increase your active income enough, you're essentially going to be working for your company for a very long time, and then even using those funds, which is going to cut down into your lifestyle, because again, if you're like me, you're going to fund your parents' retirement. That's going to take a lot of money from your monthly budget. Really, what I want to show you guys is you need to make the jump now and not wait, even if interest rates are high. Again, you want to get educated on that and don't just buy anything just because you think it's going to be a good deal. You really need to know. You have to have a plan and execute on that and know the exact steps of what you're going to do, or else you're going to be stuck working that 9-to-5 job for a very long time. Now, if you're someone who wants to jump into real estate and really go past just your first property, grow that portfolio from 6 to even 10, even more properties, while also having someone help educate you, help you keep accountable, and also help you implement the proper systems so you can grow your own rental portfolio, well, I'd love for you to click that link below and hit the Calendly link so that we can actually sit down and do a quick Zoom call. I'd love to figure out what your current situation is and then build you a customized real estate warm app so you know exactly what to do during these times of increasing interest rates. So quickly recap the video, we talked about a couple people that could possibly be in a deep sense of fear, and that'll be people that don't understand interest rate, people that are trying to do a flip and possibly miscalculate their ARVs, and then you folks that want to get into real estate and really feeling that this might be your last chance to get a property at an affordable rate, an affordable price. So a couple things that you can do is, first, you really need to educate yourself on interest rates and have a better understanding of that to reduce your fear. Another one is you gotta make sure that you're adapting your ARV and your comparables to new numbers in the Winnipeg real estate market. And then thirdly, if you're someone that knows that you might be missing out on your last chance of getting a house and a property here in Canada, you need to make sure that you educate yourself and you have some sense of urgency to buy these deals at the right price. So fear can be a motivator, and I highly suggest that you guys use fear to make the necessary changes. The last thing you want to do is be in a fearful state and then do nothing about it. It's going to cause more anxiety, it's going to cause you to have more fear, and it's going to cause you to really not make the necessary changes, where instead you could use fear as a motivator to transform your situation. So again, if you are in a place where you want to get into real estate, you're not entirely sure how or if it's even possible, I'm telling you right now that deals are still out there, and we are definitely buying deals underneath market value. Again, I'd love for you to hit that Calendly link below and book a free real estate strategy session with myself as a real estate coach, and that's where I'd love to build you a customized real estate warm app to help you hit those goals. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys got some value out of this video, and make sure to hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, even share this video with all your friends that want to become real estate investors, and I'd love to see you at the next video. Peace.